Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Ephemeral One, and welcome back to more Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. Last time, we managed to... We found ourselves awakening in a city of Canabras, that was amid a festival, that was suddenly interrupted by the invasion of demons. We were thrown into a pit by a by the demon lord Discari. Not specifically, he created a pit we fell in. Managed to meet some underground monstrosities and managed to find an underground people who had been living under the city. Managing and recovered an ancient item, a holy sword apparently. And after doing so, we managed to fight our way through a group of cultists underground to reach the surface, where we managed to fight to the Wardstone, which has been the item that has been protecting the city of Canabras from demon invasion in the first place. Unfortunately, we weren't able to recapture it. The demon Monago was too strong and knocked us unconscious. We were dragged to Defender's Heart, the location where we have basically found where the remaining citizens are all gathered to try and survive. The survivors are trying to recoup and rebuild. As such, we've been lauded as a bit of a hero just because for trying to gather everyone and gather who we can together. In my own mind, my player character, who is based on myself, Reflim Sodagian, at your service. We managed to get ourselves as gathered together as we could, and in finding Defender's Heart, we found my other half, the other part of me. Kaolin Sodagian. We would be reunited and happy to see each other after all the chaos and bloodshed. So, we would embrace, hug, and talk to each other, figuring out what would happen next, and where we would have to go. But it's clear the city is under siege, and just running away isn't even possibly an option. The demons are everywhere. We wouldn't survive. So, between the two of us, the next thing to work on would be our levels. After all, I got a chance to level up. So, a level 3 Skald, because again, remember, our long-term goal for us is to become a Mystic Theurge, capable of casting both arcane and divine spells. But will require us to have second level spells, which we will need on level 4. But for now, we need the third level of being a Skald, an Inciter Skald. So, our skills are Athletics, Knowledge Arcana, Lore Religion, and Persuasion. Lingering Performance, so that every time we start something, it lasts a little longer. And for us, we're going to go for the Fiend Totem. And I believe the spell we wanted was Vanish, to be able to disappear when we want to, and make advantage of our sneak attack bonus. So,
focus on the goal.
Now, the other person that everyone needs to level, but the other person will have an option for is Calvin Soragian. Last time I set up her basic levels, level 1, as being a fighter, a Dragon Air fighter scion. And the only thing I was considering, and I think I will aim for her, is actually to be a student of war. The path of the student of war is particularly enticing to martially minded characters who seek to enhance and expand their mastery of skills. Students of war often pride themselves in studying topics that combat-focused types might not normally find value in, and their ability to draw upon unexpected lore and information has become something of legend among their kind. So, we'll definitely be keeping her as a fighter, but you'll see that she needs several specific feats to accomplish this, which, being a fighter, is fairly simple as fighters get many feats. I redid her character and had her start with combat expertise, which allows her to trade off attack power for defense. So, in her case, we'll continue as the Dragonair Scion and focus on the knowledges. Then dodge. Do you need a... What do you need for dodge? Oh, she needs a point in dexterity. Okay. Well, in that case, we'll do skill focus. Weapon focus, armor. Does she not have what she needs for skill focus either? Oh no, wait, this is... Oh, right. This is a fighter feat. Right, so we don't get any feat. Okay. So... I think we'll give her... Oh... Kind of like blind fight, but it doesn't come in that much of an issue. Weapon focus, armor focus. Yeah, armor focus. I can see that. Heavy armor, of course. AC bonus grant by equipped by +1. Yeah. Heavy armor focus. Yep. And for third level, alright. This should get us skill. Yep, skill focus. Knowledge world.
No mistakes.
So, she's a Dragonair Scion. And Lan will just keep... Yeah. They pretty much give you some pretty basic but optimized skills.
I know what to do.
Let's see. And then there's Camellia. Same thing. She gets dodge. Note a lot of... Camellia is very focused on her own personal survival, unsurprisingly. And... Battle usually on hands to heal damage, the target is no longer sickened.
Ready for anything.
Alright. So, and now we're in an inn, so let's take some time to meet, to do some discussions and talk with everyone. Anyone with a name is obviously going to be worth speaking to, so we'll start with our own party member, Camellia. Camellia looks over you pensively, toying with the snake-shaped bone amulet that dangles from her pale neck. Noticing your glance, she flashes you a cold, barely there smile. Greetings. It seems for a moment that she wants to say something else, but the pause grows too long, and she slips back into cautious silence. Well, tell me about yourself now that we have a moment. You want to know about me more than you already do. Why? Camellia arches a dainty brow. I talk to the spirits of this tormented land, and they guide me in battle. I'll help you fight the demons, and I swear that you can rely on me in this matter. Isn't that sufficient? Oh, I was just curious. Where did you learn to wield the rapier so well? I had good teachers. Although they don't get all the credit, I am a most diligent student. Camilla licks her parched lips. You know, your speech tells me you are of noble birth. Camilla laughs a practiced musical laugh as she watches you from the under-lowered ashes. You're most insightful, a fine quality to have. Camilla's laughter ends, and unspoken words hang in the silence. Forgive me if my questions disturb you. I couldn't resist such a noble and beautiful lady. I'll stop bothering you immediately if talking to me upsets you. Not at all. Our conversation is an exquisite delight. Camilla affords you a brief, friendly smile in appreciation of your manners. Your amulet's quite unusual. Where did you get it? Ah, my little trinket. It's so nice of you to notice, but I assure you, this amulet is nothing but a bauble. Can a lady not be drawn to beautiful, useless things? Though, you seem much more relaxed during combat. Your battle cries are uninhibited. She blushes slightly and lowers her eyes. So you've noticed. To be honest, I find it embarrassing. You see, being a shaman means having spirits of battle as my ever-present companions. In the heat of combat, they become rather vocal. Anyway, as much as I enjoyed our delightful conversation, the spirits are calling me, and I must respond. Please, excuse me. Camellia turns away, watching you out of the corner of her eye. Elusive and non-answers are fairly common with her. Horgus Worm. 1,000 gold coins for you, just as promised. You helped get me back to the surface, and I duly paid you for escorting me. Horgus Worm always keeps his word. Now, speaking of our future cooperation, Horgus looks at you with unvarnished disapproval, his arms folded across his chest, his foot tapping impatiently. I have a job that would be perfect for someone like you. Naturally, I'll pay generously for your services. Ignoring the obvious classism. So, what does this job involve? You shall be my bodyguard. You see, I have good reason to return to my mansion here in Canabras. I still have, well, it doesn't matter. It's none of your business. My mansion is a breathtaking building with a large garden in the wealthy part of the city. Even before the demons attacked, every thief and fraudster in the city tried to get inside one way or another. I shudder to imagine the state it's in now. I have little hope that my guards were able to hold the mansion during the attack, and I expect the servants fled when they saw demons. Only Abdar knows what's happened in there since. Therefore, I would ask you to meet me at my mansion and guard me there until I complete my business. I already asked the local paladins for help, but they've no desire to set foot outside this tavern. Damned cowards and traitors, that's what they are. Also, please do take Camellia with you. I trust that girl more than the rest of your gang. She is of noble birth, after all. Alright, and what kind of reward are we talking? 1,000 gold coins, Horgus replies without hesitation. Double the reward and I'll think about it. Ha, yeah, right. For that kind of money, I could hire Queen Golfrey herself to guard me. 1,000 is my final offer. Deal. Marvelous, most excellent. His Horgus's face relaxes, smoothing a few tense lines. I'll proceed to my mansion at once and wait for you there. Meanwhile, you needn't worry. I know the city like the back of my hand. But do hurry unless you want me to lower your reward. Alright. So, we have another job for Gwyrm. Again, another 1,000 coins, but, well, not the best, but oh well. The huge albino's blood-filled eyes stare impassively at you from behind the bar. What'll it be? Who are you? The albino slowly takes your measure with red eyes, and finally, with a gentle sigh, says, Grandma Hawks, vampire. That medallion you're wearing, that's a sacred symbol, isn't it? Are you a cleric of Caden Kalen? I'm a tavern keeper, best in the city, the best there ever been, and I pray to the best god there is. Of course, the god of drunks and drunkards. The drunk god, yeah. How did you end up in a crusader city? How did anyone end up here? How did you, or them? With a huge hand, the tavern keeper gestures to the ragtag group assembled in the room. The world is big, but there is still a place for everyone. People who no longer have a life anywhere else, they end up here. I'm not going to really ask if he's a vampire. The guy looks it. He's big, pale, and pasty. And being an innkeeper is a decent job, and I assume so long as he doesn't drink from all his, from all his guests, it probably gets by well enough. Any news in the Any new news in the city? The albino looks around. There are demons everywhere, and you showed up. Are there any places in the city worth visiting? If you mean places that people normally usually stay well away from, there are plenty. Like the Pictixian wine cellar. Gemmel pauses for effect, like the name should make you quiver in fear. Once belonged to a Pictixian trading house. Then the king Iravetti came to power in Pitax, and the property started changing hands. Soon after, the seller's shop assistant was found in a ditch. Not all of him, mind, just his head. Numerian gangsters had taken possession of the place. They wanted to sell something stronger than wine on the street, and they ended up on the gallows. Then King Iravetti's number was up, so now the store stands empty and unclaimed. People say that a headless ghost wanders the place at night, moaning ghoulishly, "Ooh." Alright, I gotta go. Tavern keeper sees you off with a subtle twitch of his pale eyebrows. Well, the man knows his job. Alright, peasant survivor. Noble survivor. Noble survivor. Basically, unnamed citizen survivor. Journal. A young man in a well-worn traveling clothes and a simple wooden symbol of Aristil on his chest is efficiently cutting a linen robe into strips to use as bandages. Despite his visible exhaustion, he works with zeal, singing some tune about red braids and ripe sheaves of wheat under his breath. He raises his warm, chestnut-colored eyes to you. Are you one of those crusaders? Thank you for defending those of us whose talents lie off the battlefield. I'm Jernah, servant of Aristil. Pleased to meet you. You from around here? No, I was just passing through Canabras. I was sailing down that old man of ours, the Great Selin River, to a village by the name of Chili Creek. I happened to land in the city on the eve of the festival, and I'm ashamed to say I decided to stay for a day to enjoy myself. But I ended up staying in the city longer than I'd bargained for. Chili Creek? Where's that? It's just a small fishing village. It's not even marked on some maps. But people do live there. What they don't have is a priest. They have no one to heal their wounds, no one to offer prayers for a good catch, no one to give their dead a dignified burial. And the world wound is a stone's throw away, so I'll be setting out sail for Chili Creek to serve my God and my people. Once we've held Canabris, I'll be going there. If by the grace of the good gods we all survive this, you should come and visit me sometime. You'll find the village here on the bank of the river. The priest marks Chili Creek on your map. You know, I could use the help of a cleric. Chernom makes a helpless gesture. Air still knows I'd be glad to help you, but it's no use. My spells are depleted, and I have no training in potions or scrolls. See this rope I'm cutting up for bandage? It's the second to last one. Well, I have to go. Alright, so he's got nothing. Foreign Autumn Haze. Alright. A tall, fragile-looking elf sits in front of you, eyes closed. He is pale as a ghost, his arm wrapped in a blood-stained bandage. You spot other bandages on his body under his clothes, but even in such a miserable state, he manages to keep calm. Raising his eyes to meet yours, he says faintly, I am Foreign Autumn Haze, at your service. His pale lips are reddened by blood, but you see no signs of pain or fear in his gray eyes. Do you need help? After giving you a cold, intense look, he shakes his head. Do not trouble yourself on my behalf. A local healer tended to me. Besides, I come from a resilient, hardy people. My body will endure both the wounds and the poison delivered through them. Who wounded you? A sinner and accomplice to demons, the quarry I am hunting in this inhospitable place. I'm Reflem Sorjin. You can trust me. I might be able to help you. After a brief pause, Foreign says, It would be impolite to refuse such a direct and friendly offer. Who is your quarry here in Mendev? I was hunting a fugitive, a Descarite by the name of Kaelessa. It pains me to admit that there are heinous malefactors such as her among my noble kind. I managed to catch up to her in Canabris, and I wounded her. Then demons appeared, and the city was engulfed in flames. I was injured in the battle that ensued, and couldn't free her soul from its service to her dark masters. He expresses no anger or hatred as he speaks, only compassionate sorrow. I'm sorry for your misfortune. I hope things will turn out differently next time. He purses his lips. There is no need for pity. Our ancient kind is blessed with great longevity. We gain a deeper understanding of the world than other races, and we learn our lessons better than anyone. That goes for learning from our mistakes as well. I survived, which means I will be more prepared when we next meet. I wish to aid you in your hunt. Foreign covers his eyes warily. I thank you, but this is my mission. I'm used to facing all manner of terrors on my own. I do appreciate your willingness to help. If you happen to meet Kaelessa, take caution. She has turned many innocent souls to the path of evil, and darkness has rewarded her with many gifts. Her appearance alone will tell you that. It is warped. The agate skin, the malicious stare of her blood-red eyes, the bestial teeth. She's more monster than elf at this point. Huh. What did you say Kaelessa looks like again? That seems a bit specific. Her skin is dark, her hair preternaturally white. Her red eyes can see perfectly in the dark, which, to my dismay, I've come to know from experience. But bright light causes her kind pain. If I used an alchemical powder that explodes in a dazzling flash, and she cried out as if I had stabbed her. It appears the woman is a drow. Her race is known as dark or cavern elves. They are rarely seen on the surface, so it's surprising to encounter her here. Good fortune to you. So, there's apparently a drow elf somewhere. Let's see. The Burning City, a common cause. Be prepared. The outcast. Some representatives of Elvenkind are arrogant, believing themselves to be superior to other races. They are convinced of their own nobility and high purpose, and look down upon those whose kin have turned to evil and to the worship of darkness. The fate of such outcasts is typically bleak. The hunter Forn has arrived from Kyonin to track down and kill a fearsome cultist, Kaelessa. He encountered her once before and failed, but he refuses to give up. Perhaps meeting an ally has improved his chances.
Focus on the goal.
Alright. But there's plenty more people to see. Ah, Staunton Vale. A dwarf who apparently knows the demoness Mingdao, who is the head of all the people running the demons. The dwarf resembles an abandoned citadel, one whose high, crumbling walls are still holding fast, but whose empty, lightless windows make it clear that all inside is dead. Oh, it's you. Good work back there in the garrison. Name's Staunton Vane. If you've heard rumors about me, his face, which looks like it never known anything as a carefree smile, grimaces. Just so you know, everything people say about me, it's true. What do people say about you? They say I'm a traitor, as bad as Arilu Vorlish, that I'm a disgrace even among the ranks of the condemned, that Queen Gulfrey should never have spared me, that I belong on the gallows. Why do they hate you so much? You really don't know. Staunton gives you a long, morose look, then sighs. I'm the reason why the Crusade forces are holed up in fortresses on the edge of the world wound instead of bringing the fight to the demons. We used to have a foothold in the wound, the mighty, unassailable city of Dresden. We used to have it until it fell, and all because of my stupidity. I gave the enemy our main citadel. I was tried. They wanted to execute me, and rightly so. But the Queen intervened. She said that I should live and fight in order to undo what I had done. So that's how I live, decade after decade, fighting in the condemned. The dwarf shrugs. As you can see, I've fixed nothing, and I've earned no one's forgiveness. Are you gonna spit in my face too? It wouldn't surprise me. You can be good and tell him to earn forgiveness, lawful, with no hope of anything better because that's what the Queen ordered you. There's honor in that. You were given the chance to live, so live, and stop blaming others for what you've made of your life. You can be evil and spit in his face like he's expecting you to. Or it's not my place to judge you. Who knows what I would have done in your shoes? Yeah, it's my position, and I would tell him. So live. Stop blaming others for what you've made of your life. Do you think you're the first to come to me with sermons? The dwarf shrugs indifferently. Anyway, back to why we were actually talking. I need to talk to the elf who calls himself the Storyteller. Do you know where I can find him? A storyteller. Staunton strokes his beard and thought. A strange old fella, that one. He used to sit with me for hours, asking about all sorts of things. He never offered judgment or comfort, he just listened. At first I wanted him and his questions as far away from me as possible, but later I realized that talking to him did ease my burden a little. I hope he is alive and well. He's completely blind, and feeble too, so if he's alone in the city, well, you probably know what that means. I do know one place he might be. Look for him in the Black Wing. It's a library. Here, I'll show you where it is on the map. I don't know what use the library is to a blind elf, but he loved the place. He would sit there day and night. Well, thank you. I have to go. Go on then. Maybe we'll see each other again. Let's see. Anyone else? Ah, Kiado. Believe that help is on the way. The queen would not leave us to die. Vesali Rathamus. A stout old man with a fuzzy gray beard mumbles a prayer. He looks as tired as everyone else in the tavern, but determination is stamped upon his haggard face. What can I do for you? Who are you? Vesali Rathamus, rector of the local temple of Abadar. The temple is gone, though, and if we snooze here for much longer, the city will be lost as well. Who's that boy with you? This one? Gyado the shepherd, my apprentice. He's a smart boy, his faith is strong. He serves Ada still, though, but there's still something he can learn from an old servant of Abadar. He'll be a great cleric when he gets a little older. Alright, well, let's show me the scrolls you're selling. So he has Blessed Weapon, Protection from Evil, Dispel Magic at one particular point. Dispel Magic point basically means you have to pick one person who is blessed with something. There is also Dispel Magic Area, which will just hit everything in its area. So just keep that in mind. Lesser Extend Meta Magic, so allows to extend the duration of a spell. The Amulet Natural Armor, Bracers of the Wizard, Armor bonus of +2, and bonus on all Knowledge Arcana checks. But yeah. Icy Protector. Ring grants the wearer cold 10 resistance if they have the Ice Plant Hex, also grants them a natural AC to 2. In other words, this is a huge buff for, this ring is amazing to have for Carmelia. Guardian of Life, as long as they wear an effective Death Ward spell, they get +2. Okay. Then Alchemist Kits, if you want to start making your own potions. And Scribe's Kit, if you want to make your own spells. Yeah. Which is entirely an option that you can do. More specifically, it's usually when you rest, so. Ring of Powerful Blood Magic. When the wearer of this ring is blood raging and casts a spell, save DC of the spell increases by 1. And the Daredevil Boots, the paramagical boots that shimmer and vibrate shades of blazing red and burning orange when they are held up to the light. These boots let the wearer gain extra maneuverability while moving through hazardous areas. Yep. So, yeah. Really good ones.
Time's not waiting.
So those are excellent to see. Peasant survivors. Ah, and here's Lan, one of the mongrel folk we met underground. Lan greets you with a nod. Here for a chat? I've been waiting for you to come see what strange beast you've taken into your party. You can always tell any of your party members to just go away, but I'd like to know more about you. Let me guess, your first question is, can you wear a hat with your one horn, am I right? Alright. No, actually I was more curious. Mongrels have short lifespans, you keep bringing it up, but you don't look like you're getting old or dying. How old are you? I'm as old as I look, no surprises there, but remember Saul? He's 10 years older than me. I remember him back when he was a fearless warrior, and day by day I watched him turn into an old man. Him and my father. It happens very quickly. First, to miss a shot because you can't see the target as clearly as you used to. You think it's because your eyes are tired. You tell yourself it'll get better tomorrow. Then you notice you're having trouble breathing, that climbing is harder than before. Glenn clenches and unclenches his human fist. Your fingers stop bending, you have to tie your sword to your hand. You can't even put on your greaves without help. When you're washing your face in a stream, sometimes you catch sight of a gray-haired, wrinkled old man you don't recognize. And this goes on until one day you come across a cave beast and you realize you can't outrun it. Lan takes a breath. My dad kept diaries marking all the signs, and I saw it too. The last year, I had to help him get out of bed, help him dress, remind him to eat. Sometimes he forgot my name. I told him we should have stayed on the surface, and he joked that dodging a goddess was behavior unworthy of a crusader. He meant Pharasma. Every morning I wake up and check how I feel, but there are no signs yet. Even so, I know I don't have much time. I need to do something useful before I forget why I came here. I do want to talk about Wenduag. Are you sure? Alright. Were you just friends, or were you more than that? Wow, you really don't pull your punches, do you? There was a time when I asked myself the same question. Wenduag knew me better than anyone. She understood me better than anyone. She was my first woman, but we never loved each other. Maybe I could have grown to love her, but it always seemed like she never understood what love was. Maybe she just wasn't capable of those feelings. And no, we're not flirting. I guess there's nothing else to say about that. No argument from me. Thanks, I found out everything I wanted to know. So, can you wear the hat with one horn? Sure I can, but certain designs don't suit me too well, Lan speaks in a deadly serious voice. Alright, I found out everything I wanted to know. Thank you. And what about your people? You're the only member of Netherhome tribe to call the Netherhome tribe to call your people mongrels. Why is that? Because all of Galarian calls us that? I don't see the point all this hemming and hawing over what we're called. Anyone who finds it offensive or takes issue with it can lead the charge against the name. No one's stopping them. But personally, I'm not going to pick a fight over something as unimportant as a name. By the way, do you have a way to tell day and night? You can't see the sun in your caves. Every Mongol settlement has a big gong, which we treat like a relic. The gong keeper hits it twice a day to mark beginning and end, but this custom doesn't keep time very precisely. Every Mongol child has snuck up to the gong and struck it at the wrong time at least once, just out of pure mischief. Nothing could keep me away from it, not even the fact that I could only have one ear, which means it would take double punishment once I was caught. So sometimes the wrong time strikes get mixed in with the right ones, and the tribe can find itself jumping up to greet the morning in the middle of the night. Thank you. Oh, I'm curious, are you really descendants of the first Crusaders? More like demon spawn, aren't we? Sad but true. Without the demons, there would be no mongrels. It's the magic of the world wound that affected our ancestors, made their children the way they are. Like most in our tribe, Chief Soul fancies himself a descendant of the underground Crusaders, the ones our heroic ancestors left to guard the caves. I don't know if it's true or not. That angel came to our caves for a reason. Maybe he remembered us? Those were evil and dangerous times after the First Crusade. Hundreds of Crusaders began having children, and the babies were born with fangs and horns and warts that covered half their face. People didn't like the new look. The Inquisitors sure didn't. So our ancestors fled persecution and made a home for themselves down there under the ground. They probably intended to find a cure for their children and hoped we return in time, but it never happened. Instead, the World Wound's terrible legacy was passed down from generation to generation. Mongol parents can only guess what their child will look like. Each of us is born with a new mutation. Many mutations are fatal. Lan stops, then goes on quietly. Down in the caves, we usually don't congratulate the family for the birth of a child until they turn at least 3. Most don't even get a name before that. There's no point. but we know now that it's because they live short lives. Thank you. I found out everything I wanted to know. So, what do you think of life on the surface now? Of course, as far as living conditions, the surface is definitely a better place to be. It's easier to get good food and water, not to mention build a house, and even grow a few things. In older, well-established settlements, you don't have to deal with anything scarier than rats, or maybe foxes stealing chickens. As for your, as for the kind of lives you have, I heard a story about demon worshippers abducting a whole family and sacrificing them one by one, while others watched. But there was some brave crusader knights nearby, and they killed the villains and saved everyone. And I heard another story. A young blacksmith lost his arm in the fire, couldn't work to feed his wife and baby. They tried their best and lived from hand to mouth, but they were still destitute. In the end, the desperate blacksmith robbed a traveler one night on the road. But there were some brave crusader knights nearby, and they caught the robber and threw him in prison. Not long after, his wife smothered their baby and hanged herself. Up here, same person can proudly say he's protecting the innocent from demons, then look the other way when the same innocent starves just because they were born into a poor family. Queen Galfrey prolongs her life with some sun orchid elixirs that cost enough to feed an entire city. Back in our caves, everyone is equally poor, and if one person starves, the whole tribe starves. We don't abandon our own in times of trouble. That's the power of a tribe. The laws of the surface are made so that some get everything and others get nothing. I might just be a naive fool from the caves, but I don't understand how it's possible to have so much more and share so much less. Anyway, look who I'm talking to. You must know life on the surface much better than I do. I'd never lead a needy person in trouble. I've been given more than most, which means I'm now able to help others. We're in a struggle for our very survival against the abyss. This is no time to upend society in a quest for fairness. Oh yes, I have a few questions for our feckless aristocracy. Or evil. Stop whining. I clawed my own way up, and anyone who can't do the same is just lazy or weak. I didn't choose what family I was born into, I just live with what I got. Oh yes, I also have a few questions for our feckless aristocracy. But I guess I'll have to wait until we drive the demons back into the abyss and close the world wound. Lan smiles with his strange half-smile, which breaks along the border between the two sides of his face. At the end of the day, the world is full of injustice, but it's also full of mad beasts ready to tear us to pieces. Thank you for your answers. So long. So, yep, Crusaders, Pink Eye. Isn't it amazing how much nonsense you can fit into a small package? And this is Indra. An imposing young Oread is surrounded by a crowd of Crusaders who are hanging on her every word. I hope this example clearly illustrates the difference between Gestica legionnaires from the last war and the Crusaders. The perfection of form and spirit they were imbued with during creation turned them into parts of well-balanced war machine, and not a ragtag bunch of individuals, but united as a whole. Now tell me again why I am supposed to be impressed by your reckless assaults where everyone is fighting for their ego and for right to beat their peers to a swift but pointless heroic sacrifice. Some of the Crusaders grumble unhappily, but it's clear they are captivated by the woman's words. The only exception is a scraggly and disheveled halfling monk whose puffy black eyes give him away as a brawler and troublemaker. He enthusiastically pushes forward and tries to engage, but one of his friends swiftly jabs him in the back with an elbow, making the poor vessel pause to catch his breath. Alright, well listen, see what they have to say. One of the Crusaders angrily curls his fist tightly and retorts with a burst of passion. If those gists of your whatever had come for us, we'd have guts for garters. You think we've never fought a mighty adversary before? The soldier's stern facade cannot fully conceal his relish. He clearly plans to enjoy this confrontation. The Crusaders around him look upon their exotic opponent with a mixture of irritation and piqued interest. The Indra woman chuckles before cutting off her interlocutor. I would love to see you storm a 60-foot tall walking castle shaped like a gigantic elephant that carries siege fortifications on its back, And I'll have you know these fortifications were defended by Giscom, priest-craftsmen armed with demon-bound war machines. They used to be enemies you cannot defeat as mindless weapons. The woman gives the people around her a triumphant look and adjusts her clothes with a pointed nonchalance. Her voice takes on a lecturer's tone. You should not argue with someone who happens to be the most authoritative researcher on the history of warfare 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. The woman looks at you and flashes a amused smile. Lecture is over. Do my esteemed listeners have any questions? Oh, who are you? I am Indala, a warrior, magus, and scholar of classical warfare from Garund. The woman peers at you apprehensively, then sighs. I admit that I am mildly offended by the fact my name is entirely unfamiliar to you, but I'm willing to accept this is due to Avistan's isolation from the sophisticated culture of the world at large. Garund is the continent found south of Avistan, across the inner sea and west of Kazmara, from which it's separated by the Obari Ocean. During the late Age of Anguish and Age of Destiny, Central Garund was the heart of civilization in the hemisphere, and this legacy of arcane discovery remains even today in the nations of Osiren, Nex, Nantambu, and Holomog. Beyond these bastions of civilization, Garund is overrun by dangerous wilds, from expansive deserts to impenetrable jungles. So you've come a long way to be here. I like to think of myself as an inhabitant of Galarian, and I don't narrowly identify with any country in particular. Why did you come here? To witness a legendary war, the confrontation between the denizens of a plain famous for its love of violence and the crusaders from every continent united by the common goal of defending their home. An epic struggle of colossal proportions that hasn't been particularly epic so far, truth be told. The monk with a black eye grins and mutters under his breath, Maybe she just can't see it from here. The view will get all the more epic if she stops hiding among us and takes a walk outside. The woman smirks contemptuously. She doesn't deem the monk's words worthy of comment. I won't comment on that. Hardly surprising, I presented my take on the war in a clear and succinct manner. There's nothing to argue about. And what is this last war you mentioned? The last war of Gistica, of course, a large-scale conflict that took place 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. It was a war against the Osiren Pharaoh of Forgotten Plagues, and the war ended at the legendary Gistica Imperium, an epic struggle that became the most vibrant page in military history. Alas, all conflicts that followed were but a pale shadow, including the one I am witnessing here. And why do you find the last war of Gistica so inspiring? Imagine legions of golems imbued with extraplanar spirits marching into battle. Imagine flying cities that swoop out of the clouds like terrifying monstrous birds of prey to drop forces on top of enemy castles. Picture gigantic mechanisms powered by captive and very angry demons and devils. Imagine standing in the warpath of walking citadels, or having your ears to block out the sound of cannons loaded with shrieking elementals. Finally, imagine the ultimate weapon that defeated the Gisca, the deadly night plague. This affliction was an attack dog, trained epidemic, a tamed pestilence, striking only those its master wanted to kill. Imagine all these terrors and understand that no flight of fancy can even come close to the horrors and nightmares they made real. Well, why don't you join the Crusaders and show them how fighting should be done? No, I am an historian, an analyst, a theorist. Do you know what these words have in common? They describe a mortal woman who does not participate in the conflict upon which her thesis will be founded. But then again, I hardly will hardly be able to describe this mess as anything other than a feeble likeness of the last war of Jistka. The monk with a damaged-eyed grin slyly comments, "The more dangerous the upcoming scuffle is, the more motivated we are to find clever and pretty words to justify not actually doing the fighting." And how do you know so much about Jistka's last war? I can say without false modesty there is no more authoritative researcher on Galarium when it comes to the history of warfare. 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalon. I dedicated my whole life to this subject. I've personally visited old battlefields, studied the most mysterious and forbidden archives containing chronicles of ancient wars, sometimes risking my life in the process. I saw a fallen sky city of Shori Empire with my own eyes. I ripped out the control crystal from an exterminator-class combat golem that guarded a Jiska laboratory with my own hands. These fingers held the glass flask that the servants of the Pharaoh of Forgotten Plagues used to create the first generation of pestilence that devastated the Jiska Imperium. How do I know so much? I went and touched everything I'm telling you about. I see. You're wrong to treat the Crusaders with such disdain, though. Allow me to explain. A debate? Oh, I will be happy to prove that the current conflict can't hold a candle to the last war of Jiska. Very well, the last war of Jiska was waged using a significantly greater number of troops. Both sides actively relied on reinforcements from allied planes, and their strategic planning was perfected through no fewer than 7 rounds of intensive design. None of the above applies to this war of yours. Compared to Jiska, we are but clone club wielding kobolds. I'd like to conclude my thesis with a few words of wise counsel from Dagon, an advisor to the Pharaoh of Forgotten Plagues. I doubt you will comprehend the true genius of his statement, but here it is nevertheless. A gadfly sees the ox. The ox pays no heed to the gadfly, but crimson fever takes them both. The events of the past are shrouded in legend, but the fate of the world is being decided here and now. That is what you fail to grasp. The earnestness on the faces of those around you has taken away Indra's panache, encouraging her to backtrack and stumble over hers. Of course, I'm not trying to diminish the importance of current events. What I'm trying to say is that from the standpoint of history, and particularly history of warfare, she falls silent, fixedly staring at the unfriendly eyes in the audience. The true importance of these developments won't become obvious until later. Indra offers a pretentious dismissal. As a scholar, I cannot deny that there is certain truth behind your skeptical statements. History is a complex discipline rooted in the fact and an evidentiary base that grows ever more eager the farther it describes the period is from the present moment. Of course, if I were to argue in bad faith the way Crusaders embellish their tales of slaying a single Brimarak by adding a dozen Balers, for example, I could win this debate, but I am above such things, and therefore I'm forced to admit your skepticism is not entirely without merit. And have you changed your mind about... Have you changed your mind about joining the Crusaders? I don't see the point. Your critics would be quite confident in your skills. If nothing else, you present your arguments to me with extreme confidence. Indra unbuckles her sword belt and hands you the weapon. This is a worthy blade. It will be of use not only for the strong, but also the wise. This is where I bid you farewell. Before the end of the day, I was planning to observe how winged demons use pack tactics to drive their prey like herds of livestock. It's about time I got back to my research. The hint of a smile graces Indra's lips when she sees disappointment in the eyes of many crusaders around her. Stay safe. And off she goes. How you doing? So, I imagine if we engaged her longer, we could have, but we got at least an item out of her. Let's see. The Claw of Jiska. Wow. God damn. Flaming. Wow. Jesus. Okay, a 1d6. Okay. Well, Hey, Calvin, we just got you something really damn good. Yeah, that's 7 to 17 damage with fire. Yeah. Damn, that's really good. Alright.
I know what to do.
That's really goddamn good, actually. Okay. And Hylor, who's here for the Pathfinder Society. This is where Sela is. Sela smiles at you warmly. Hey there! During the march through the dungeon, we never got a chance to exchange proper greetings. It's high time I shake your hand. Alright. Yeah, I'd like to know more about you, Sela. Of course, ask me anything. I'll answer honestly. Then tell me about yourself. Where are you from? I'm a little bit from Geb, a little bit from Katapesh, but mostly from the Knights of Ayamede. I was accepted and began my training at 14. I belong in their ranks more than I belong any other place. What made you want to become a paladin? Sheila's gaze sharpens momentarily, then she sighs. That's a serious question, a good one. You ask it of your companions, but it's a long story. To start with, 12 years ago, I was nothing like the person I am now. I roamed the streets of Solklu with other homeless orphans. I stole, I fought, I was a hired sword for a bit. Not the proper origin for a paladin, is it? Back then, Solklu was a city of orphans, widows, and widowers. Gnolls had decimated the city regularly. My parents were among their victims. People there heard about the new deaths before they'd finished mourning their previous losses. One day, a group of knights of Ayamede brought a glimmer of hope to the city, but while others saw them as saviors and protectors, I was busy pricing up their noble horses and their gleaming mithril armor, wondering just how much one of their pretty swords would fetch. A thief lives one day at a time, and that's what they say. I was the type that never got past the next job. Anyhow, I was able to sneak into the knight's camp and steal one of their mithril helms. Sela pauses, her voice sad and measured. And I was right there when a gnoll attacked the helm's owner. Asemi was her name, and dealt a blow to her unprotected head. A gnoll like that, all those others she'd fearlessly driven from the gates of Solku. That one blow was fatal. But who was really to blame for her death? The gnoll attacker? Or the young thief named Sela? Life is cruel and full of chaos. Sometimes survival just comes down to luck. So that's how you see it. She looks with curiosity but no hostility. I can't accept that point of view. If the story of my youth taught me anything, it's that we're all accountable for our actions. It's too easy to wave off responsibility if you use the cruelty of life as an excuse. But you were asking what brought me in the ranks of Ayamede's warriors. We all choose the paladin's path for our own reasons. Some are guided by nobility spirits, some by a desire to fight injustice. I became who I am through penance and debt unpaid. The day Asemi died protecting my city, I wanted to kill myself for the terrible guilt I felt. But then I realized it wouldn't make the world any better, and I decided instead I'd try to take her place. I'd become who she had been, and protect innocents that would no longer be able to protect. Well, thank you. That's everything I wanted to know. Oh, by the way, Irabeth said your friend Jan Aldori is missing. Do you know where we should look for her? Irabeth is worried about her fighters. I understand that. I wanted to look for Jana myself, so I didn't want to distract you. But since you're in this too, I could use some help. Jana and I met in Canabras a few days ago and just hit it off. We went drinking together, went to the unforgettable celebration together too. But we got separated in the crowd, so we should start looking from the main square. That's where I last saw her. Sela frowns. Jana's a good fighter, even if she is green. She couldn't have become an Aldori otherwise. I hope that means she's all right. I'm just curious. Is fighting demons all you want, or are you looking for something more? How about covering myself in glory and becoming hero of 100 ballads? Or at least a dozen, if they're lively ones. Sela's eyes shine cheerfully. Anyway, to be more serious, the air around the world ruin is the best place for a paladin who wishes to defend the weak and serve good. Being part of the crusade is reward enough for me, but there's something that worries me. I don't like the sound I'm criticizing my brothers in arms, but the Eagle Watch and the other orders are focused on just one aim, the war against the World Wound. That's why they can sometimes overlook the smaller things, ordinary misfortunes, you know? I always liked being the wandering knight because at any moment I could get up and go help poor rat folk whose family had been kidnapped, or an old woman whose favorite dog had gone missing. So here's my answer. I don't have some big important goal, but I'll be happy to help those who need it. A little bit here and there. Thanks for talking to me. Till next time. See ya. So yeah. Alright. So, and of course Irabeth herself we spoke to earlier. When we first got here. So, that's most of the inn. Let's see. We did see this to the basement earlier. Let's head down here. A guard. Surrender thy soul, Delvin. I am made to protect us. Got you again. How many times is that today? Take your jokes and shove 'em, tiefling. Oh, easy there, Chief. Don't hit me. So, don't mind me, just picking up goodies to sell. So the guards are just here. But there's also Wolziev.
Hey, Chief! Ooh, hey, gorgeous. Come over here. I want to talk to you about something. Something really important.
And you might have guessed from the fact he has a portrait.
Quit bothering the decent people in here, Woljiff, or I'll knock your teeth out!
What's it to you, Delvin Dum-Dum? You were told to guard me, and I'm not stopping you. But no one told me I had to shut my trap.
Alright, what do you want from me?
I'll lay it out for you. Simple job, 30 minutes tops. We go someplace, talk to someone, and in return, whatever you want, I'll get it for you. Some extra rations? No problem. Armor, weapons, scrolls, you name it. It's as good as yours. If you need my help with something, whistle and I'll be there. I'm handy enough with knives too, and even my magic know-how isn't too shabby.
What a load of guff! If you were good at magic, you wouldn't be stuck in here now, would you?
Don't you listen to him, Chief. He'd find fault with the Queen herself. I'll be useful to have in battle, and I'll sell whatever you want at a reasonable price. It's your lucky day. You won't meet another gem like me in Canabras.
And why are you in chains, then?
Does it really matter? Don't get hung up on the past, Chief. Don't look to the future. Live in the here and now.
He was caught thieving.
Right. About what I expected. Now, your shadow, what was that?
Get me out of here and I'll tell you. And don't worry, it's not contagious.
Well, I can't help you while you're chained up here. How can I free you?
That's easy. You know Irabeth? Feisty-looking gal, always wears armor. You can't miss her. She's the meanest fighter in the whole city. When you see her, put in a good word for me, will ya? Tell her there's this guy, Woljiff, locked up for no good reason in the Defender's Heart. Well, for the follies of his youth. And he really wants to get out on bail.
His youth
so
of maybe 20 minutes ago, probably.
And make a contribution to society. Got that? Will you do it?
I need to think about it.
Well, think fast. I'm already losing feeling in my legs sitting here.
You know what? I thought it over. I'll help you, and I'll talk to you.
I knew I could count on you. Knew it the moment I laid eyes on you.
Just so you know, the staff is going to go to your skull if you piss me off. Now, there's also a few more things to loot for easy money. And I'll loot a shield. The button won't budge. There's a button? Oh. Hey, there's a couple things down here. This is actually a side puzzle that you can do. Because there's a couple of switches down here that you can turn up and down. Okay, so easy way to do this. Okay, all three up. Nope. Turn this one down. Nope. This one down. Nope. Okay. That one down. Okay. So maybe this one down. Nope. So what about this one? That sounded different. And sure enough, a hidden shrine to someone, or a hidden private shrine. And a letter. Half a century ago, our parents fled their homeland of Sarkoris, terrified of the invading demons. They were certain that the war would soon be over, so they didn't go too far and found their refuge here in Canabras. They used to what little savings they had to build a tavern, where any crusader could get a bowl of soup and a good night's rest in exchange for some money and news about their recent victories. The city looked completely different back then. It was a triumphant city, full of hope, inspiring songs, and brave paladins in shining armor. We praised Our Lady Pelura openly and hoped that our lands of our ancestors would be ours again in no times. Things have changed since then, though. Our parents left to the goddess's halls. Dresden is long gone. The world wound grows deeper every day. The Crusaders take more... let's see. The Crusaders seem to take more interest in fighting each other and us townsfolk than eradicating demons. Holrun has gone mad, and now puts all his inquisitive zeal into burning witches. Today, Canabras is a city of fear and suspicion. We even had to hide our altar of the Shimmering Maiden in the basement so they wouldn't accuse us of demon worship. Queen Galfrey has recently appointed Holrun the prelate of Canabras. Now nothing will stop this murderer from taking complete control of the city into his hands and serving his so-called justice on everyone. His previous acts of violence were just the beginning of a full-scale massacre. We have to flee, run like our parents did. This time not from demons, but from the Crusaders. Soon we will sell our tavern and leave, anywhere to be away from the agony of this endless war. May Pelura protect this city from whatever comes next. The 10th of Lamachan, 4682, Sergwell, the family of the Devamai clan. The 10th of So, 4682. And I believe... I forget where you can see the... encyclopedia, maybe?
I am prepared.
Yeah, 4685, so it's been about 30 years. And they've got some nice items. Potion of Restoration, which is nice, yeah. And the helmet there is... Alluring Charisma. Well, we're a charisma-based caster, so... Yeah, puts us up to 22 charisma.
Ready for anything.
Yeah. Alright. So, we need to go talk to Irabeth, and we'll get ourselves a thief to our party. Alright. After all, you never know when the shady types can come in handy. And that shadow trick is kind of interesting. Hey, Irabeth. Irabeth rubs her red, tired eyes. Any success? How's the city? There's a tiefling chained up down in the defender's heart. What can you tell me about him? Airbeth shrugs scornfully. Well, Jeff is a petty thief from a gang of thieflings operating in Canabras. That's what they call them in these parts. They tried to rob a vendor of magical items recently. Unfortunately, we apprehended only one of them, and the rest managed to escape. We have nowhere else to keep him apart from Defender's Heart, but that's hardly a prison. Waljiff knows it too. He's been begging us for days to let him go free or have someone vouch for him. He's already asked you to put in a good word for him, hasn't he? Airbeth squints at you thoughtfully, then shrugs. If you want to recruit Waljiff and put him to good use, go ahead and take him off our guards' hands. We can ill afford to let a soldier spend days watching over a middling thief. I hope the tiefling proves useful, should you decide to take him over. Alright. Thanks. Yeah, so he'll be a new addition to our party. But we're not done. Let's go see what's outside Defender's Heart. Well, it's raining. Wonderful. Altar. This place has been sanctified. It can protect the area around it from corruption of the abyss. So a bunch of crusaders and Eagle Watch soldiers. Oh. More goodies. The hell is that? Commander, look what we got here. Are you too mad? Whatever possessed you to steal the gem golem from the tower? We didn't steal nothing, Commander. We saw looters dragging it down the street and recaptured it. This shiny fella belongs to the treasury. The inlay alone is worth more than a castle. Jordan, see that no one lays so much as a finger on this golem and plucks out a single gem, and the same goes for you two. You're now stuck on guard duty. So a walking golem that is now... basically that one will that golem acts as your... you can work on fashion with it, basically. Prestidigitapainter golem. Yeah, so he can change the appearance of your armor if you want. Peasant survivor. Yep, lots of survivors out here. Area exit. Alright. Just take a look around. See if there's anything useful or otherwise. Useful or useless around you. And as you can see, they've done their best to make this place into as much as a defendable position as possible against the demons, but I mean, far from perfect, but perfectly workable. And Joran Vane. A grizzled dwarf turns a blade in his calloused hands, carefully inspecting its edge. When he sees you approaching, he sets the blade aside and greets you with a nod. A new face in the city. You picked a good time to come to Canabras. As you can see, we're in sore need of warriors. Do you know everyone in Canabras by sight? Well, not everyone, but I make it my business to know the people who might need my services. A blacksmith's work isn't just at the anvil, you know. It's not hard to notice your kind. Asamars aren't all that common around here, apart from Ramian, the prior at the Temple of Desna. A spiritual fellow, if a bit woolly-headed. And also that Count something or other. Some muckety-muck, not the type to visit a smithy in person. By the way, why do you have your forge here in the tavern yard? Wherever I am is where my forge is. A true master of any craft can always find the tools they need. I missed my old forge, of course, and now it's just a pile of charred stone and metal. But I've got my hands, and that means I can work. By the way, do you recognize this sword? Do I recognize it? Of course I do. I made it with my own hands. That's my brand, see? The dwarf carefully takes the sword in his hands, gazing at it like a doting father. Oh, Yaniel, the things have been tough without you. But at least we still got your sword. That's something. Jordan returns the sword to you. In battle, ordinary swords get blunted. They break. But sometimes a weapon can persevere. I don't know how to explain it. I'm no authority on these things. But something like an echo of the deeds done with that weapon. Or more like the reflection of the wielder's soul? I don't know. I will say one thing. Take care of that sword. Yaniel may no longer be with us, but the demons will remember why they need to turn tail and run when they see Radiance. Ah, the scabbard's all worn. We can't be having a fine sword like this be carried around by this tatty thing. I'll make you a new one, if you like. If the city stands strong and we both survive, come see me again and I'll have it ready. No charge. Well, show me what you got. Alright. Does he have any... Okay, he does have a case of banded mail, which I'm going to pick that up. Because I'm going to throw that on to... Yeah. Meantime, clear out the unenchanted stuff. Alright. And anything that's just... Okay. Yeah, like this extra goodies that are just... Yeah, like that's a cooking ingredient. Yeah, I was gonna say, a lot of this is regents. Yeah, that's good. Yep. Rusty horseshoe. Okay. Anything that isn't a reagent, I'll sell. Cooking, yeah, just looking to see. Pay well for it. Yep. Milk. Alright. Honey. Yep. Handful of gems, green quartz. Okay. Giant spider legs. Just getting through the stuff that will make us some extra easy money. Okay. Actually, hang on, the diamond, because there are diamond dust you actually want to hang on to, because there's actually spell components that will actually come in handy for that. Alright. Bottle of oil. Okay. So that gets us another 438 and some weight limit. Perfect. Okay. There we go. So that's some... Alright, puts us at 3,500.
No mistakes.
And then equipment for Calrin and put her in bandit mail. Perfect. Puts her armor class up to 22. Perfect. Alright.
Time's not waiting.
Yep. Alright. So, let's go talk to Woljif. Let him know we're gonna take him with us.
Well, Chief, what do you got for me?
I talked to Erebeth, and I've decided to make you part of my troop. We'll see how it goes.
You must be a smooth talker. Come on, Delvin, get these bracelets of yours off me. I'm going free.
You're sure to regret this. This tiefling will fleece you for everything you've got. Mark my words.
The city's covered in demons. Even if he does try to fleece me, I'll just mostly send him on his way.
Bitter little man, Delvin. Petty and mean. You can't even be happy for me, can you? I pity you. I'll leave you alone with your sad little soul. So long. And now, Chief, straight down to business.
Yep.
You see, I'm one of those guys that people around here call thieflings. We just call ourselves the family. After we knocked over that shop and I got stuck here in the Defender's Heart, a little bird told me that big sister Charisme wanted to see me. That she had some questions to ask me. You following? Now, she won't be asking me questions like, Woljif, how'd you manage to get out of this one? Or, Woljif, you're so thin, didn't they feed you? No, something serious has gone down, and I just know they want to try to pin something on me. I can feel it in my tail. So, I knew right away that I couldn't go alone. You turned up just in time, Chief. You don't need to do anything when we get there. Just stand behind me and look mean, and I'll handle the rest. Somehow. Let's go. I'll show you the way.
Alright. So, we've got... Yep. So, a new party member for ourselves. Alright. We're sure to regret this. Maybe, maybe not. But that puts us at a point where we'll be able to start checking out the city itself. Yeah. We can finally start heading
Focus
out.
on the goal.
We've talked with everyone, gathered what we can. Now the fun part. We now have to go and examine the city of Canabras. We can head out. So, we can choose, and luckily, yep, we have just enough space for everybody. Okay. Okay, so naturally, because we're the main character, we have to stick around. Our frontliners will, of course, be you two. Then, yep. Alright. Alright. So this is a global map, the city of Canabras. To move on the visible part of the map, use the R trigger to travel to the location that you have discovered, and hover your cursor over the location and press X. Some locations may not be available for travel for various reasons. As you explore the map and progress through the game, you'll discover new locations and routes. While traveling between locations, you may be attacked by enemies, so be sure you have enough rest and don't let them take you by surprise. So there's the Tiefling hideout over there. There's the Blackwing Library, the Market Square, the Tower of Estrad we were told to examine, Worm's Mansion, where we need Camellia for. Yeah. Now, the only thing to really note above anything else is that everything you do will take time. And you have plenty of places to look, but you have limited time until the demons make another assault on the Defender's Heart. So and when that happens, time will change. Things will change. So, choose your places wisely. Time will pass and you have a limited amount of it. Yeah. Note that any place here we wouldn't be able to go to because we still need to cross the market square. Generally speaking, the market square is where you probably want to start off. So, this journey will take an hour to get there. Oh, we barely left and there's a fallen horse. The bloody carcass of a strong steed with broken leg is covered in mangled armor. The saddlebag is intact, so you can procure some regents for creating consumable items here. Sure. Alright. You failed to sneak past enemies. Time for a fight. Some are scripted, some are just random. Doesn't matter which. Alright.
Yet another obstacle.
Giant flies. Oh, turn-based combat. Alright. So, Calrin starts us off. Let's see. Act your most vulnerable party members, put the AC on front line. Yep. Alright. So, let's go. Her big ability, Arcane Strike. Swift action, can view your weapon for one round. And we'll turn off combat expertise so she has her best chance to hit.
Attack!
Yeah. Never underestimate the usefulness of a good, solid fighter. Alright. Woljif. Giant spider. Spellbook, go ahead and give us... Yeah, just some quick ignition. Just a cheap fire spell. Sneak attack, because they didn't have it coming. And... yeah. Divine Zap, another level 0 cantrip that's relatively cheap. Did 1 damage. And ourselves. Yep. Yeah, go for ear piercings. Nah, we'll just pass and let Sela run on in.
I know what to do.
And there we go. So in this case, it was just a random
As it
battle.
should be.
Just checking for any potential other loot. Guys, check the map because you never know. There might be an extra chest or so.
That is not far.
But if nothing else to see, back on the road. Alright. Yep, so let's head back to the market square. Oh, another fight. The city's covered in demons, folks, so it's an uphill battle to get just about anywhere. Thankfully, we've equipped ourselves fairly well.
Do not fear! Do not waver!
No, we'll manually end turns. Alright, looks like this one, there's one enemy. A Baphomet cultist. Just the one? Wow, this is unfortunate for you. Yeah, go ahead and just... yeah? There is another one behind us. Go ahead and Divine Zap him. Yep. Honestly,
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Ready for
Yep.
anything.
and down they go.
In due time.
Yep. Nothing too special. Yep. But yeah. Still. Enter the market square. Let's see what's happened. Remember, this is where the story began, where we were brought in on a stretcher, healed by the dragon Terendelev before she was killed. So, with any luck, that is a hell of a fall, huh?
All according to plan.
Knowledge
It is
Arcana.
finished.
The enormous cracks appeared after a magically induced earthquake struck the land. And a tiefling. No, a tiefling specifically. No, I'll tell you everything. Just don't hit me. I never stole nothing. I only just joined the tieflings. The tiefling gestures back the way he came, as if he'd explained something. It was all them, back there. They found an underground passage to the Great Garrison, and they've been nicking stuff out of there ever since. Low-down thieving Torags, they are. But I had nothing to do with it, I swear. Brother Gort, is that you? Brother Woljev, I thought you pegged it in Erebeth's jail. Happy to see you, too. An underground passage to the Great Garrison? Tell me more. Right, so the temple around here, the Temple of Ayamede, has a cellar. The passage leads right to the Great Garrison. The tieflings, my pals, damn the lot of them, have been using this passage on and off to sell all sorts of stuff to soldiers in the Great Garrison. So when the demons burst in the city, we thought we'd check up on the Great Garrison to see how the soldiers were faring, and to offer our assistance. Don't give me that look. This is the first I'm hearing of this. Tieflings keep secrets from each other too, you know. Why are you so afraid of me? You're one of them crusaders, ain't you? You lot hate our guts. The tieflings, I mean. You lock us up and do worse to us. The tiefling gulps loudly. But I'm not a tiefling. Not really. Alright, I'll let you go, but you'll have to pay me first. I'll give you everything I got, just don't kill me! Alright. Hey, that was easy. 112 gold coins. Alright. Go on your way. Cheers for letting me go like this. I'll remember you 100 years. I'll name my firstborn after you. He under the stair, the tiefling falls silent, and then runs off. Okay, well, we already found the way into the Great Garrison. That's they make sure you have that no matter what. Alright, and don't mind me, just gonna check our formation. Yep, it's what I want it to be.
Be careful, everyone.
Oh! Hey, Dretches! Yeah. And we'll just leave you be. And let's see if we can't put him to sleep. Alright. Oh, that's full round. Alright, hypnotism. Oh, those are both full round, aren't they? Yeah, they're full rounds. Oh, well. And we'll just leave it be. Land, go ahead and take your shot.
Survive me.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep. I'm pretty hard to hit, so especially for a caster, so. Alright. Camellia. Yeah, go ahead. Nice. Yep.
The light take you!
Yeah, get behind him. Alright.
Aim carefully.
Alright. Let's go. Yeah, go ahead. It's not gonna do much. Yeah. Alright. Go ahead and we'll use the light of the angels. Try and dim them a bit.
Endure this.
Alright. There we go. So close to finishing him off. Yep. Yeah.
The spirits demand your blood.
Of course. So I should yeah.
No glory without risk!
And Calvin?
Forwards.
Yep. Critical hit for 20. Love to see it.
Solid plan.
Okay. Nah, we'll finish this off.
Let's try this way.
Yep.
Make every strike count.
No mistake.
There we go.
I'll go ahead.
Dretches aren't particular. They have a DR, but they don't have damage reduction, but they don't have too much power behind them. Oh. Some Dretches and some citizens. All
As
dead.
it should be.
I don't know about should be, but that's what it is.
Save the last one for me.
Hey, cultists! Can we get up to get a better view? Alright. Ooh, a marauder. Level 2. Level 2. Alright, only AC of 13. Illusionist. And looks like they just got done offing some poor bastard. So, let's show off what makes Woljif useful. This is Grease. Alright. And they all made their save. If they didn't make their save, they'd fall flat. But... Illusionist... Yep. So, Camellia... Let's see... Nah. We'll just have her move up. And... pretty much the same, just move up. Land can take a shot, start getting the mirror images vanishing. Yep. That's fine though. Means the spell was already used up. Calrin can wait at the top of the stairs so that when they try to come after us, the Marauder, it slows them down if nothing else. And yep. So slows them down so they have to use extra movement. It makes it much easier since they're going after certain targets to get easier attacks. And Woljif, being a thief, is pretty damn good at wiping out soft targets. And Camellia, alright, here's your chance for a big...
You are today's sacrifice!
Ooh, 2 damage, just short of the kill. Alright, so ear-piercing scream on you. Alright, dazed. And finish big man off.
Won't survive me.
There we go. Alright. Do I risk it? Sure. Slip? Yep, slip. Alright. Same with Sela. Let's see. She survived it. Alright, Woljif. Go ahead and dismiss it. Yeah. I just mostly had to show it off because it is one of those... It comes in handy more than you think. Alright. Alright. Unfortunately, there's no help up option. Alright. Get up. Yeah, there's no help up option.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
Distract them from me.
And there we go.
That
So yeah.
ball.
He has a lot of little tricks that'll help you out. Obviously, Grease being, as a thief, probably one of the more useful ones. Alright.
In due time.
Yep. Okay. So, that's another exit to the area. And more goodies. But as you can see, there's all You know, we've barely covered it, even the corner of the map. And more enemies. Alright, Sela. Well, try and charge the archer. Nope. Alright, go for the marauder. Apparently we managed to accidentally sneak up on a ambush here. Woljif. Alright. Let's see. Nothing else, just move him up. Alright. Then Camellia. She looks like she's got a straight shot to the archer. Nice. And Lan. Yeah, go ahead.
This.
Nice. Alright, Calren.
Aim
Yep.
carefully.
Move up. Big Marauder. Nope. Yep, that 22 AC is doing wonders for her.
This will hurt.
Yep. I know. What's a frontline caster do?
Glory without risk.
Yep. What's a frontline caster doing in...
treasures.
Ooh, the sneak attack because she was flanked. And Camellia.
For their hearts.
Alright. Yeah, you'll note Camellia isn't doing the greatest damage right off the bat. Again, most of her basic leveling starts with more survival focused. Because end of the day, she's one of your healers.
I'll go ahead.
And pick up all the goodies. Cart laden with possessions looted from the surrounding houses. Yep. So yeah. So they were just looking to rob everything they could, because these were just looters taking advantage of the situation. After all,
Enemy approaching.
that's what people do. Ooh, 2 Crusader Knights, and looks like some more neophytes. Yep, level 1s. Just starting off, huh? Well, sucks for you.
The wrong mongrel.
There we go. These guys are level 1 though, so don't expect too much. Yeah.
Cover me, all right?
Woljif's... Yeah. Yep. Because our basic boys here, the Crusaders, I think they're level 2. So it's one of those, yeah, you really do not stand a chance. And compared to what we dealt with, yeah, and compared to what we dealt with underground, this is all a cakewalk, of course. Yep. Alright. Alright. Let's see, what am I... Inspire Rage, Battle Spirits. That's what it is. But we don't need it for right now. Attack of Opportunity. So, now that we have Lingering Performance... Okay, I need to... Okay. Alright. Because I was going to take advantage and just... try and get the...
Survive me.
Yeah. Barbarian is down. Woljif, go ahead.
Zap you. Why not both?
There we go. Again, unfortunately for these guys, they're level 1. Yeah. So. Ooh, channel negative energy. How unfortunate. Alright. Yeah, no straight shots, so we'll just get to it. Yep. And... okay, Camellia, go ahead.
I'll cut you wide open. Ah!
Nope. Still just barely a miss. And go for the shot.
This!
I know what to do.
There we go.
In due time.
So yeah, these were guys just looking to take advantage, and the neophytes were there to distract the Crusaders from stopping the raiders over there.
All according to plan.
Yep. And... oh! Kalesa, the one we were told about. The elf hunched up next to you is clutching a small but deep puncture wound. Her appearance is quite remarkable. Her skin blacker than any Garundi's, her teeth are fanged, and her hair is gray as a crone's. Her crimson eyes glare at you with a gleam of malice. What are you looking at, soldier? Like what you see? I can heal you. Hang on. With a resolute shake of her head, she barks, Don't! I can handle it myself. I don't like it when strangers cast spells on me. As you wish. The elf nods stiffly. You're a drow, aren't you? She flinches, looking at you with undisguised sorrow. You have a keen eye for these things, don't you, soldier? You guessed correctly, I am a drow. But don't think that gives you the right to judge me. There is much you don't know about me, and will never know. Believe me, it's for your own good. I know who you are. You're Kalesa, a cultist of Discari. That's a lie! Her crimson eyes flash, and she says firmly, I loathe demons, and I'll kill any I come across. Perception. She's clearly holding something back, but she doesn't appear to be lying either. Whatever it is she's hiding, her claim that she hates demons sounds quite convincing. You're not lying, but you're not telling me the whole truth. What, was I supposed to pour my heart out? She looks at you defiantly. You have your war, soldier, I have mine. You're fighting chaos and madness, and I'm fighting lies and hypocrisy. We're both willing to die for our causes, aren't we? Then why would Thorn slander you? Kalesa's grim expression hardens further, as bleak and unflinching as the words on a tombstone. You're asking questions that are dangerous in and of themselves. I urge you to stop. The more you know about me, the higher the chances that the traitor's dagger will find its way into your back. Fine. I believe you. Thorn is at Defender's heart. You should keep clear of the place. It was never my intention to set foot there. Farewell, soldier, and thank you for believing me. Alright. Everyone has their reasons and methods.
Now what is that?
I'll
Huh.
go ahead.
Some loose gems stored in the wall. Hidey holes like that are common enough. Just hope you make the perception checks.
As it should be.
Alright. So, we've managed to clear out at least this southern area. Oh,
That is not far.
and apparently there was a house we missed we could go into. It is straight ahead. Oh,
We'll make this quick. She won't feel a thing.
I don't know. Can we really do this?
Listen, we don't have a choice. There are demons everywhere. What else would you have us do?
A group of knights surrounds a young elven girl. She's dressed in rags that barely cover the hideous scars on her body. The beggar girl is on her knees, watching placidly as the people argue heatedly around her. It's as if she doesn't sense the looming threat at all. A black crow flies in agitated circles around her head, above her head.
In Iomede's name, we're sorry, girl, but it is our duty. We have to do this, not for our own sake, but for the sake of everyone who can still be saved from the demons. If we don't win this battle, you won't have long to live anyway.
The knight brings his sword up above the girl's head.
They're insane! We've got to do something!
I understand. You're scared. You feel powerless. You think this will help. You don't have to justify yourselves to me. Just do what you've decided to do.
The girl smiles serenely, as though she isn't at risk of imminent death. What the fuck is going on here? The knight's hands are shaking.
Our weapons barely scratch the demons' hides. We're sacrificing this girl to Iomade so we can consecrate our weapons with her innocent blood and gain the power to destroy the spawn of the abyss.
It's extreme, but we have no other choice. We have to defend this city somehow, or else we'll all perish, including her.
Who told you this? Like, who told you this? This sounds like cultist work to me.
Good point. Whose idea was this? I think it was yours.
My idea? I was against the whole thing right from the start. Who said we needed to make a sacrifice? Wasn't it you? You can't blame anyone else for that.
Please don't fight. All of you are good people, defenders of the city. You just made a mistake. Please don't hurt them.
The little girl is defending the people who wanted to slaughter her a minute ago. She's either a saint or she's insane. Maybe the two together.
Hey, I know her. I see her all the time on the street. She's a couple of cards short of a full deck, if you know what I mean.
Hi. Remember when we used to play together when we were little? But then you went and got all big. And I stayed the same for some reason.
Oh. So she recognizes Woljiv too. And she's... Okay, so she hasn't grown older?
Huh? I played with you? Pull the other one.
You did. We played tag and hide and seek. Then you and the bigger boys came up with the game where you all threw stones at me. You laughed so hard, it made me happy too. But then you grew up and went away to do grown-up things. Wanna play with me now?
For the love of... Canabras is too damn small.
The tiefling turns away, covering his reddened face with his hands. Okay, regarding the idiots, you go to the Defender's Heart Tavern, that's where the survivors are gathering, and don't even think of doing anything so disgusting ever again.
Thank you.
They're gone. And they all lived. I was sure that someone would die today. So many people have died here already. But we are still alive for some reason. Strange, isn't it? But you shouldn't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a silly girl, really.
I don't think you're an ordinary girl. And the crow you have there, it's not ordinary either.
No, don't be silly. I'm very ordinary. Well, I know different types of tricks, but Soot taught me those. Now Soot here, she truly is unusual. She's clever and she can talk, but only to me. She teaches me magic tricks and lots of other stuff. I don't know what I'd do without her.
At this point, Calrin and Reflin would exchange looks. Look at each other and go, familiar? Familiar. Magic tricks, you say? You could prove useful when fighting the demons then, and I'll be able to protect you from insane soldiers on the street. Come with me.
I must have misheard. This girl? Join our party? What could we possibly want with this dirty little beggar?
Sure. Let's go.
Well, I look over at Camellia. Okay, it's either her or Lan. And Camellia just kind of sits there and just one of those, So yeah, we'll be taking along Ember, I believe her name is.
Time's not waiting.
Ember, the stigmatized witch. Atheist. Blackened is her weakness, so yeah, so her hands and forearms are shriveled and blackened, as if you plunge your arm into blazing fire. Your thin, papery skin sensitive to the touch. She doesn't physically attack, basically don't physically attack, but she gains more spells. Yeah.
No mistakes.
And her spell book, Ember naturally has Burning Hands, Cure Light Wounds, Ear-Piercing Scream, and Mage Armor. She's got a pretty good overall balance.
Ready for anything.
Alright. So, she's obviously not going to be much of a physical attacker, which is why she sticks with the back with Woljif.
In due time.
And into the house.
Can we retreat already?
Oh, rat swarms. You have engaged a hostile swarm, rat swarm. Against such enemies, regular weapons are ineffective or completely useless. However, the swarm is vulnerable to area attacks that hit an area. On difficulty below core rules, you can hit a swarm with regular weapon, but the damage will be halved against a swarm of enemies. Use this. Normally it gives you a suggestion, but we've got a lot of other options. For now...
The spirits demand your blood! You are today's sacrifice!
Alright. Yep, we get the... Yep, so she got some damage. And...
The light. Take you!
Yep. Woljif. Now, he's the one that's going to have some useful things. Him and Ember both have Burning Hands. So we'll want to go like here. And see if I can get both of them. That should be both. Nice. Alright. Then Calren can make a
Solid
swing.
plan.
Nope. And... well... nope. Because I wanted to show that single target spells don't actually work. And rat swarms kind of just get overall, yeah, so single target spells won't work.
A calculated risk.
Alright. So, you need to do area attacks on swarms. And trust me, swarms will be a threat later on. Otherwise, they can quickly maul your team to death. Alright. And Woljif,
Pretty good.
being
aren't
the
I?
actual rogue, is fantastic with trickery. Yeah. Go ahead.
This is my kind of work.
There we go. Hide armor. Not bad. And... don't know this recipe. Seasoned wings and thighs. So, that's a recipe for a specific thing you can learn. So, when you see this quill icon, go ahead and copy the recipe. So now those are recipes we can use when we
Focus
camp.
on the goal. All according to plan.
Alright. Oh. And hidden behind the wall here is a demonic ritual. Alright. An incomplete magic for circle for a summoning. Finish it or destroy it. Do we try to finish it, or do we destroy it so no one else could use it? This is a greater arcana check, though.
Failed.
Nope. Didn't make it. How close did we get? We rolled a nat 1. The only way we could fail, and we rolled it. This is my fucking luck, man. And this is why I quick saved, because it's like, I know my luck. If I'm gonna get a nat 1, I'm gonna get a goddamn nat 1. If it's the only way I can fail, sure enough. Hard to believe. Okay, we'll try one more time and then I'll give up. Okay.
As it should be.
Alright. Finish.
Can't.
Okay. What did I roll that time? Because if it's anything... Okay, I rolled a 3. I'm fine with that. Okay, I'll take the failure due to that. So then from there, we just destroy it. To make sure... Yeah, so no one else can use it. Yeah, I would have needed a fairly high roll anyway, so it's one of those... I was expecting to fail. But, I'm not that bothered about it. Use until fully healed. Yeah, everyone's in a little. So let's use up some of the potions. Yep. Yeah. Never underestimate.
Time
Okay.
is not waiting.
Alright. Now remember, resting is multiple hours, so it can be, while nice, remember you're a bit on a time clock right now.
In due time.
Alright. So there is one more bag of goodies we missed. Yep. Pick the lock, because having a thief
Pretty
with
good,
you.
aren't I?
Indeed.
All according to plan.
Alright. Okay. So now... We've secured this whole area. We've cleared
I'll
out
go
bandits and whatnot. So we've learned a bit.
Everyone.
Oh? Oh, another Dretch is here. Okay. Go ahead and just get a cheap shot on it. Okay. Alright. Got a divine zap. Ember is an archer and does actually have point-blank shot.
Surrender or else.
Alright. I don't think Sela can... okay. By the way, other abilities. Smite, lay on hands... Yeah, that's all she had. Okay.
Into the fray!
Alright. Okay. Alright. Some of the Crusaders looking to help out. Yeah. And just move up. Alright, Calrin. Yep, same thing, just move up. Alright. And Woljif. Go ahead and... yeah, try and get some more damage on the Dretch. There we go. That sneak attack damage is amazing. Alright. From there, just keep at tossing some cheapo spells. There's a... wow. Nice crit. Good gods. Alright. Ember. Yeah, don't need too much.
Apologies.
There we go. And finish it
No
off.
glory without risk.
Aw, that one. Okay. Yeah.
This spell doesn't work like that.
Alright.
Attack!
Good night. Yeah. Just gotta keep trying to get us what we can. Nice. Alright.
Should be.
Some crusaders. And a citizen. Okay. So just doing the good thing of saving as many people as we can.
That's not far.
And this is actually where that one guy was running from. The one thiefling was basically running from this fight up here, actually. So we just took the long way around. Alright, and here we need to build the bridge out of the debris. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you get to the other side of the market square. This will enable you to reach both parts of the area.
In due time.
So, yep. And you can get across the rubble here, or there is a path over here.
Enemy approaching!
Enemies. Where are we seeing? I don't see anything. Oh well. Well, let's have Oljif scout it out. A thief's line of sight has to be very good after all. Ah, a centipede. Well, yep, nice. Alright, fiendish giant fly. Alright.
Cut you wide open.
Let's try this way.
Nice. Alright. Ah, another centipede. Well.
I'll hit you.
Well, you'll try.
The inheritor, guide my blade.
And
Aim
yep.
carefully.
Woljif.
Cover me, alright?
There we go. Critical hit sneak for 24. And Camellia. At some point I'm going to have to get you a better weapon, but for now. Yeah. Oh. Oh.
This will hurt.
Alright.
You won't stop us.
Nice. Yep.
The light take you.
There we go. Just a bunch of bugs.
All according to plan.
Opportunistic bottom feeders. Alright. Ramia, my beloved brother, I admire your zeal, of course, but would you not agree this is hardly the time to be standing guard over a hole no one will ever emerge from? Or perhaps you're concerned that someone will decide to go for a nighttime stroll and will actually fall into it. Such foresight is laudable, but do you really need so many soldiers for such a task? Can't your warriors be put to better use, for instance, fighting demons or clearing rubble, while the people trapped beneath it might still be alive? The face of a golden-curled Aasimar is beautiful even by the standards of his kind, in whose vein runs the blood of angels. His melodious voice sounds cheerful, but bitter reproach simmers in his gaze. Don't you dare call me brother, heretic? The signs of recent hard fighting are obvious in the stern old man. His armor is dented and covered in blood, and his unnatural pallor suggests something more dangerous than wounds inflicted by claws and fangs. Nevertheless, his gaze is stony and his voice, accustomed to barking orders, is harsh and clipped. How dare you accuse me of doing nothing to protect this city, especially now when followers of your temple were caught committing treason? To my mind, you are no different than demon worshippers, those miscreants, those beasts that are digging under the city walls. Everyone knows, my dearest prelate, that in your zealous pursuit of order in the city, you have long since forgotten how to tell friend from foe, and a genuine attempt, and good from evil. That's what happens with my adepts, whose act of treason was a genuine attempt to save the city. And yet again, I am forced to repeat myself. While we are wasting time on pointless quarrels, people are dying under the rubble in our city. People whom we could have saved if you had only set your soldiers to the task and not kept them here, surrounding a useless and utterly harmless hole in the ground. Harmless? Well, if it's on your say-so, then it must mean there is someone down there. Your associates, no doubt, and they're just waiting for us to abandon our posts before they slink out and then try to. The old man notices your approach. And you, I remember you. You appeared in my city the day demons attacked and Terendelev died. What are you doing here? Answer at once, or I'll have you strung up by your ankles before you know it. Don't think that the demons have wounded me. I still have enough strength to take on 100 of your sort. Right now, I'm a crusader. I'm fighting to liberate Canabras from the demons. A crusader, you say? I'll be looking into that. You obviously don't know with whom you're speaking. I'm the one who decides who's a crusader and who's a traitor in this city. Holrun Shapak, prelate of Canabras by the grace of Her Majesty Queen Galfrey, and the city's defender against threats from within and without. And as we can see, you've done a sterling job protecting the city. The golden curl Asimar flashes a flinty smile. I am Ramian of Edme, prior of the Temple of Desna, which, alas, currently lies in ruins. Wise Hulrun here believes it is vital to guard this hole in the ground, from which he is certain demons will emerge at any moment. I've been trying to convince him that the city has far more urgent matters to deal with, for instance, rescuing those currently dying under the rubble. You know what? There may be, in fact, be one more matter that is more important than guarding this hole. I put it off, and look where it's led us. I should have had you hung from the gates back when you dared to defend your gang of delinquent demon collaborators. If the Sarkorians had hanged Arilu Vorlesh while they had the chance, there never would have even been a war. I won't repeat their mistake. I won't hesitate any longer. Soldiers, seize this scum! Prelate, see reason. These are frightening times, but threatening to hang someone without trial. That's unworthy of a servant of Iomede. The old man fixes his eyes on Sela. Lest you forget, girl, we may serve the same goddess, but you are not an inquisitor. Don't question the way I choose to serve Iomede, and I won't question yours. What precisely are you accusing Ramian of, Inquisitor? Treason. Not long before the city was attacked, several followers from his temple tried to secretly access the Wardstone and perform an unknown ritual over it. Holrun is trembling with fury. The Wardstone of Canabras, the gift from Iomede, the bringer of light, wrought by the hands of her herald, the first in the chain, and the followers of that crazy runt of a goddess try to meddle with it using their magic after hearing a voice in their dreams. My soldiers almost had them caught when Ramian got in the way, allowing the traitors to go ground. I made a mistake. I didn't have him locked in a cell and interrogated to within an inch of his life, and now the city lies in ruins. It's time to rectify that mistake. I've told you before, and I'll tell you again. My people foresaw the attack on the city. They knew the Wardstone was already carried the seed of corruption within itself, and they were simply trying to heal it. I've heard similar claims before. Now where was it? Ah, yes, from Staunton Vane, the traitor who brought down Dresden. The lessons of the past have taught us a great deal, and that is why I never believed you or your mob's lives even for a second. So I was right. Well, he's not going to listen to reason. So, let's use some authority here. Behold, Inquisitor, I bear the gift of an angel who died in the caves below Canabras. I am no enemy of yours. The old man frowns and whispers something. A prayer or a spell? With each word, his face relaxes. You are telling the truth. The light in your hand was wrought by the power of heaven. I will keep an open mind with regard to you, the stranger, and later, under less fractious circumstances, I would like to ask you about how you came to receive this gift. But that can wait. Now I must deal with this filth once and for all. Don't lay a finger on him, or you'll have to answer to me. The Aasimar holds up his hands in a placating gesture. Stop! You are defenders of what remains of Canabras. Can't you think of anything better to do than be at each other's throats in the ruins of the city? You're a fool, Holrun. You're a zealot and a murderer, but you're a fool first and foremost. I told you that the Wardstone was weakened. You wouldn't listen. I warned you that the city was going to be attacked. You shooed me away. The truth is, my young adepts were trying to save the Wardstone, and you stopped them. Of course, those truly responsible for this tragedy are the demons, but you have done nothing to prevent it, and now you would still rather kill an innocent person and perish yourself than admit that you were wrong, as always. With a wave of his hand, of his wand, the Aasimar vanishes. He fled, the heretic. He's no doubt expecting me to rush off in pursuit, but that won't work on me. Holrun turns his attention from you. What about you? If you've truly been marked out for a gift from heaven, this is your chance to save the city. Go and bring back that filthy traitor. I'm almost certain that he and his cronies were helping the demons, either knowingly or unknowingly. Their attempt to bewitch the Wardstone is clear proof. Ramian must be captured. So Ramian really did warn you about the attack. Those crazed Desnans were always bursting into my study with their incoherent prophecies that came to them in their dreams. I won't lie, sometimes what they said did come to pass, but can we really rely on the woolly dreams of heretics over cold, hard facts of intelligence reports? Plenty of demons could have easily fooled them and whispered a treasonous plan in their dreams, and those lunatics would have been only too happy to listen. This time, Mr. Curls for Brains came to me and declared that the demons were about to attack the city and that the Wardstone's power was diminished by some kind of contamination or taint. I omitted, forgive me for even repeating the words. After uttering such blasphemy, he should have been locked up along with his followers and interrogated. But instead, I simply increased surveillance on them. And what next? My people caught them red-handed trying to attack the Wardstone with unknown magic. And not 3 days later, the demons attacked the city. That's an obvious connection between these events. Whether deliberately or under some demonic influence, the Desnans have played right into the hands of Descari's hordes, and they almost left the city completely defenseless. Ramian covered for his people the whole time and helped them escape my guards. After that, what else can he be but a traitor and a heretic? Where can I find Ramian? How should I know? The weasel can't have gone far. He turned invisible. He's probably hunkered down in some hole, like the traitorous little rat he is. And he'll be sitting, trembling, waiting till he's dragged out of there. If the prelate after you, that seems the only sensible thing to do. It's what I'd do. Alright, I have to go. Go on then, if you have to. It'd be good if you could return with the head of that scum. Oh, I remember you. When Father and I arrived in the city, you met us. What is this gibberish? As if I have nothing better to do than to arrange meetings with vagrants. But it's true. You and the other knights tied us to stakes and started lighting the bonfire. Father died, and then one of your knights changed his mind and pulled me from the flames. But then he died too. Don't you remember? If you were burned, then it was with good reason. You say some traitor helped you escape the fire? That is a crime in itself, which means that you have been evading justice all these years. If it weren't for the invasion, I would review your case and see your sentence was finally fulfilled. You're lucky that we have more important matters to deal with right now. He didn't look the way he does now, all wrinkled and gray. He was young, with a big mustache. Ember smiles broadly and draws a bushy mustache in the air with her finger. He probably forgot all about me. It was a long time ago. But I do want to say one thing. I'm not cross with him. The knight is a true hero. He just really wanted to protect his city. Only he got all mixed up about who was good and who was evil. And you forgive him after what he did to you. He thought he was doing the right thing. How do you know? Maybe you've done something thinking it was a good thing, but it was really doing a bad thing and hurt someone. But what if I've done the same thing? You can't get angry at people for making mistakes when you might be no better than them. Halloran, you sent an innocent child to be burned at the stake. Don't you want to ask for forgiveness? Pah, hardly. Anyone can look innocent. How did this girl manage to survive the fire? And what about that crow that's always flying around her? I advise you to take a closer look at this innocent little lamb of yours. If you ask me, she looks highly suspicious indeed. Fine, let's go, Ember. Yes, let's go. Bye-bye, kind knight. She waves to Halloran with a carefree smile. Halloran grimaces and turns away.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Halloran is not a good person. And it's pretty clear that he's
No mistakes.
butchered countless innocent and not so innocent people.
As it should be.
What? What is this? The demon invasion transformed all of Conabris into one great battlefield. But nowhere in the city has suffered as much as this square. This place saw a clash of titans. The demon lord Discari leading his hordes from the abyss, and the dragon Terendelev, the mightiest of the city's defenders, and one of all the first to fall. The scene of destruction leaves no doubt as to the battle's outcome. A skilled scout could recreate the course of the battle, moment by moment, simply by looking at the ruins. From the chimneys torn down by powerful wings in a sharp dive, to the bloody tracks left behind when the demon dragged away the noble reptile's broken body. But it was no hypothetical scout gazing upon the stones in the ruins. It is Reflim Sorgian, and she is not alone. The shadow of a strange, barely perceptible presence lingers over the place. Like a gaze untethered from any observer, this mysterious force, unknown to mortal kind, silently assesses, judges, and seeks a better way. In an instant, Reflim Sorgian is vested with this power and looks at the world with its eyes. The past, the present, and the future stand before her as a unified whole, an unmoving, multifaceted crystal that would be beautiful were it not for the fractures, blemishes, and flecks in its splendor. What do I see of the past? In the past exists one of the wielded his gaze in life, although the one and life are inappropriate terms for aeons, the supernatural embodiments of cosmic balance. Rather than who or what, a better word for these entities is how. This aeon appeared from outside this world, from the great beyond, to put an end to the intermingling of the planes and destroy the world wound, the chasm disrupting the order of the multiverse. Alas, the visitor from beyond proved too weak for the battle they came to fight. They even failed to finish casting the spell that would have sent Discari back to the abyss. With one swing of his scythe, the Demon Lord cut the Aeon down. What present do we see? Ruins, blood, corpses. None of this perturbs the Aeon's dispassionate gaze. The living are alive, the dead will be judged by Pharasma. All is as it should be. But the demons circling the sky or prowling through the streets create a jarring juxtaposition, like splashes of blood-red ink on a restrained pencil sketch. They should not be here. The world of mortals is for mortals, and the demon's place is in the demon world. How sublime the world would be if everything in it knew its place. But even the demons aren't as abhorrent as the sharp-edged, unassuming crystal languishing in the dirt among the bricks and smashed cobblestones. No mortal would notice it, but to the Aeon's eyes, its mere existence is an outrage against universal laws. If the Aeon still existed, they would not stop until the crystal was remade. But the Aeon is gone, and only their gaze remains. Reflin Sorgian picks up this crystal up out of the air and stows it in her pocket. She is mortal, which means she has the power to decide what to do with it. And what do we see in the future? Good and evil, chaos and order, everything in its lawful place, and the multiverse is no longer trespassing where it does not belong. Nothing is disrupting the smooth and steady current of the river of souls from life into death and back to life again. The reality, rid of its flaws, is now perfect, and the aeons withdraw to internally admire the beauty which will never be threatened again. Allowing the heroine to view the world through their eyes, the little that remained of the destroyed Aeon is killed even appropriate here for an entity so removed from life and death as we understand them? Used up its last vestiges and energy. Now they are ready to disperse into nothingness, unless someone decides to preserve the Aeon within themselves. Will the heroine take on this power so that she may look again through another's eyes, or will she allow it to vanish? We can retain the Aeon's power, or let it dissipate. I think for us, personally, we'd let them go. They served their purpose, and they served it as strong as they could. We'll keep the knowledge of what they've seen, but, as they would wish, all in their proper place. It's not the kind of person who relies on any eyes but their own. The final traces of the Aeon's existence fade away, sending one last look of farewell to her, that piercing, unyielding gaze full of understanding of something significant, even as it takes that understanding with it to oblivion. So this is where an Aeon came to fight Discari and push it back. Unfortunately, it failed.
That is not far.
I won't let you hurt my friends.
Alright, folks. And another cultist, some dretches. Nothing we haven't encountered before. Yep.
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
Yep.
The spirits demand your blood!
There we go. Cleric. Nope. And Sela, I don't think there's enough of us. Yeah, no. Okay, just get in.
Without risk.
And honestly, it's one of those things. Yeah, just getting. Alright. go ahead for the
Solid
call.
plan.
Nice. And go ahead and try to finish him off. Nope, miss. Okay. Alright. Full move. Then go ahead and... yeah. Yep, there's the Divine Zap going. Tries to weaken us.
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
And nope. Ooh, enchanted heavy armor. Ooh. Okay. Hey, Galram. I think we just got you something news. Half plate +1. Okay, so we're currently at 22. 23. Yep. That's fine. Alright. Not bad. So then... Sela... Chain shirt. Let's see. If we switch her to hide armor... yeah, it's enchanted, so plus... yeah, so it gets us up to 23. The only other thing then is... getting her a better weapon would be nice. Yeah, that'll be the next thing next time we have to head back. Alright. It's hard to believe that the place was a bustling and festive market. Now here's something truly special. The Midnight Bolt. The owner of this bolt can shoot it to deal 50 points of damage that can't be ignored or reduced. This bolt cannot miss. So if you find someone that, if you come up against an enemy that truly cannot die, or you're having a ton of trouble with, that is your get out of jail free.
All according to plan.
Alright.
Do not fear. Do not waver.
Ah, rats. Okay, we were just far enough that they can't get to us. Hey, and look who's going to be in the perfect position to take care of it. Okay. Make sure it's just the full move. Yep. Alright. And go ahead and Burning Hands. Oh, for... okay. Wish I could undo. As I say, sadly there's no way to undo. Oh well. Alright, and Woljip's out. We could color spray. Alright. Kind of dulled them a bit.
Into the fray.
Alright.
You
Camellia.
are today's sacrifice.
Alright. And... you know what? Why not? Inspired Rage. And then... yeah, I'm just gonna move away. Alright. Swift action.
Attack.
Nice. Alright, she's nauseated. Yeah. Ember. Okay, try this again. Okay, she's already caught up, so she's not a... yeah, so we'll just have her move back.
Is that a trap? It might be a trap.
Alright. Well, Jeff,
Distract
go
them from
ahead.
me.
There we go. Sela,
The
Egg.
light. Take you.
Camellia. Go
for
ahead.
their hearts!
Let's see. Yep, we'll just leave it be. Alright.
Aim carefully.
Alright.
Surrender or else.
Well, we got some of it.
Time to share your treasures.
Nice.
The inheritor. Guide my blade.
There we go. Alright. And we just gotta wait a little bit
I'll
for the
go
nausea.
ahead.
Okay, her nausea went. Oh. Okay, no. And lingering perform. People were not killed, they're more by ordinary weapons, so these people weren't killed by the demons. Someone else did.
As it should be.
I don't know about that. So, people turning traitor, unsurprisingly.
That is not far.
And we did happen to find a secret passage here. Yay, more gems. And plenty more enemies to
In due
come.
time.
Alright. And this is where we had that drink.
All according to plan.
Rift left by the Scar Mask. You and your companions fell through during the attack. Yep. Judging by the size of the bloodstain, the body of something truly enormous was dragged over these stones. To Rendelev, most likely. So they stole her corpse, even.
I'll go ahead.
Okay. More spices and food supplies. And up here.
As it should be.
Huh? Cultists. No, a stranger. I am the answer, but what is the question? And just nonchalantly walks away. Okay.
That is not far.
People lose their mind all the time, right, folks? Especially in this kind of situation, I guess it makes a lot of sense. Hey! Watch it! Watch it! What are you goons doing? You'll bloody crush me! A young tiefling is trapped under a collapsed section of tunnel. Another two tieflings scramble around, trying in vain to free him from the rubble. Quit whining! Hey! Alarm! Someone's coming! Maybe she'll help us? Wise up, would you? Before you get us killed. Let's make a run for it while we still can. No! Come on! Don't leave me! I'll die here! Hey, guys, I see you're in a bit of a jam. Oh, get a load of this lot. And no escort, neither. Woljif, you little shit. How are you not dead? And who's that with you? They're friends of mine. Great guys. Woljif turns to you and out of the corner of his mouth says, Listen, do me a solid. Help them draw against sorry carcass free. I'll repay you. Cross my heart. Alright. I'll help you out from under the rubble.
I tire.
Clearing rubble proves a bigger challenge than expected. By the time you're finally free of tiefling, you're ready to collapse with fatigue. Yeah. I'm alive, and in one piece, give or take. Thank you. I'll remember your kindness for the rest of my life. The freed tiefling turns to his companions. And you two clowns, I don't want to hear a word out of you. Get into the tunnel now. One trip just to the Great Garrison and back. Don't be a coward. It's not going to collapse. Go, or else we came all this way for nothing. That ended well, didn't it? Wished. Not now. Talk later. The tiefling eyes you and elbows his chatty companion in the ribs, causing him to double over in pain. Sounds very suspicious to me. Come clean. Who are you? All right. Don't hurt us. People call us tieflings. We kind of skirt around the edges of the law, and that's how we make our living. Some tyrant bans books on stuff he don't like, or fancy Kyonin wine we don't drink. Is it wrong if we step in and fill the gap in the market? If there's a demand for it, someone's got to sell it. Don't go thinking we're gangsters or anything. Our only concern is making the lives of the citizens easier for a little coin. People in this city can't even breathe without breaking some stupid regulation or restriction. Take this tunnel that collapsed on top of our friend, for instance. It leads straight to the Grey Garrison. Thanks to it, any soldier whose throat's feeling a little dry or needs some nighttime reading material, we can get all the things for him that his heartless superiors refuse to. We're providing a public service. I helped you. Now you can help me and Commander Tirabade to save the Canabras. The militia needs people with various skills, even ones as unusual as yours. You what? Are you blind or something? The tiefling points at his horns and tails. Know what people call us? Arilu's spawn, and that's one of the nicer nicknames. Crusaders and tieflings don't mix. We'll be torched on sight. Whoa, Tirabade? Irabeth Tirabade from the Eagle Watch? Lads, we have to help her. She's one of the only big shots in this town that actually treats us with any decency. Why should we risk our necks for Crusaders? Because Irabeth risked her neck for ours. She saved me from that creep Holrun, yanked me straight out of his torture chamber. Only a worthless toe rag would refuse to help her out after that. Nuh-uh, I ain't listening to any more of this. The tiefling makes a slow show of covering his ears. You do what you want. I'm heading for the River Kingdoms. Go on then. I'm going with the Crusaders, and I'm going to round up others to help. The tiefling smirks. We've made some good money in this city. It'd be a shame to surrender our meal ticket to the demons, but enough yammering. So long. Alright.
In due time.
So, that's some more bodies for us. And as you can see, we're starting to get fatigued. Too many fights for too long. And more specifically, because that check we did. Alright. So, let's get... Alright. Go ahead and add some fire to their lives. Nice. Sneak attacks are fantastic.
Forwards.
Yep. Phew. Tried to sunder her armor, missed completely. And Camellia... Yeah, she's too exhausted, she can't get... So, we'll do Battle Spirit.
I'll cut you wide open.
Alright. Hey, they actually managed to... Okay. And... Yep. And... Yeah, so her HP is low. So what we'll do is... Full move. And... Yeah, you know what? Just move in. Alright. See if we can't daze one of these. There we go. And Ember. See about trying to put this one to sleep. Okay, made its will save. Alright.
Cover me, alright?
Woljif, go for a stab. Got that sneak attack in. And Karen... Try and finish this one off. Damn, just barely still alive.
Faint. Learn from my mistake.
Ah. Alright. Yep. Karen. There we go. Okay, Sela. Because lay on hands on others is...
Into the fray!
Yeah, one down.
Right, take you!
Alright.
A calculated risk.
Yep. Alright. Go ahead and try slumber again. Nope. Waljev, finish it.
Why not both?
Nice. Alright. Stay down. Because if she tries to get up, she gets... They get an attack of opportunity.
All according to plan.
Alright. So, we got out of that not the best, but still. Yeah, they got a real nasty hit. And yeah.
No mistakes. I'll go
And
ahead.
this is... Despite the statue of Iomene towers proudly over the streets. So, not the best.
As it
Well,
should be.
alright, climb down. So that's another path to another part of the city.
That is not far.
The temple itself has been broken into. And... Yep. Rest of the temple sits there. And an exit.
In due time.
Still, we are exhausted and fatigued from moving the rocks, but... Well, we still did a good deed of helping survivors. Alright. And the corpse of Terendelev was dragged this way. Oh! Count Arenday's servant. Thank the gods! I found someone who isn't fleeing in panic. Are you crusaders? Mercenaries? The comely half-elf is so frightened he can barely get the words out. I'm servant of Count Darin, Kael Nevis Arende. My lord's mansion is under attack by demons. The master himself and all his guests are trapped inside, and the house guards are nowhere to be found. I managed to escape through a servant's passage to look for help. Will you help me? The mansion's only a stone's throw away, over on the next street over. He meets your gaze with pleading eyes. Count Arende. I've seen him a few times before, from afar. He looked highly audacious. I confess that he did capture my attention, but that's neither here nor there. We should help him. The gratitude of a rich, influential man can only benefit us. You have heard of the Arende family before. This wealthy and noble Mendevian dynasty was almost wiped out by demons more than 10 years ago. The last surviving member of the family, the young Count Darin, has an infamous reputation. He is well known for being a rake and a rogue. Alright, I'll help. Where's your master's house? It's not far at all. You'd be better off entering from the next street over. The passage I'd use to get out. Help, I'm begging you. I hate to think what will happen what the Count will do if I don't bring back help. Alright. So, we have a house party to crash. And wherever the demons took Arende, Terendelev's corpse, well, we'll have to wait and see. Hey, looks like there's a hidden item here.
Should be.
Huh? Hear me, take heed. The wardstone. Oh. Consequences will be disastrous.
That is
So that's where Ramian hid. He's invisible.
What a find.
And a bunch of alcohol.
In due time.
Alright. So, well, we spotted you.
All according to
Hi, Ramian. The golden-curled Asimar greets you with a graceful bow. So, you wish you found me. I have nowhere else to run. I'm at your mercy. Kill me if you wish, but I ask you, hear me out first. Did you really know about the demon attack before it happened? I did. We have a secret ally in the enemy ranks. No one knows who the brave soul is, but she's been feeding us information about the demon's plans. These dispatches have come to us by the most reliable channel bestowed upon us by the great dreamer herself. They have come to us in dreams. Prelate Holram brushed them off as meaningless reveries, and, well, I admit that it isn't always easy to distinguish our allies' messages from ordinary dreams. But even ordinary dreams are gifts from Desna and are always worthy of attention. The prelate, and all the crusade leaders for that matter, should have put less store in reason and more in intuition, inspiration, and spontaneity. What's more, not long before the attack on the city, a blind elf who calls himself the Storyteller arrived in Canabras. This wanderer wasn't merely a collector of legends, but a scholar of the unknown. According to him, the wardstones in our city, the first and most important in the chain of wardstones, weakened since long ago, was teetering on the brink of corruption. It seems that the Red Morning Massacre and other demon attacks, even the ones we fended off, did not leave us unscathed. Unfortunately, the prelate did not wish to listen to the storyteller either. We're lucky he wasn't burnt at the stake as a heretic. We had such vital information in our hands, information that could have saved the city, but no one cared to listen all the way to the catastrophic end. I see. Not all dreams have benign origins. What if those dreams were sent by the demons? In a different time and place, someone could have become the victim of false dreams sent by monsters. But here, in the war with the Abyss, the goddess is keeping a close eye on her most faithful followers. I have no doubt that if a demon tried to intrude upon the dreams of any of us, Desna's punishment would have been swift. Okay. Now tell me about the strange rituals that were going to be performed on the wardstone. Ramian looks slightly abashed. When my attempt to open Holrun's eyes ended in failure, a few of my young adepts resolved to take matters into their own hands. They did not consult me before doing so, but I have never demanded iron discipline from my priests. Army commanders may have subordinates, but I have pupils and fellow worshippers. I can only inspire them, I cannot command them. And it seems they were inspired all on their own. They had no intent, they only wished to access the wardstone in secret to try and cleanse it. But to Holrun, this became perform a suspect ritual after hearing even more suspect voices in their dreams. The children wanted to save the city, but the Inquisitors detained them and almost killed them. I had to intervene. I used my authority and my power as a cleric to give them a chance to flee. If they hadn't gotten away, they were destined for a cell in the prelate's dungeons and quite likely death. You know, why haven't you left this place for somewhere safer? Because people might need help, and they will come to the temple in search of a priest. I will not hide away in a hole, saving my own neck, while Canabras is full of people suffering in the wake of the demon's attack. So why are you and Holrun feuding exactly? Oh, I'm not feuding with him. I sincerely wish only the best for the man. In an ideal world, he'd be far away from the front lines, enjoying a peaceful retirement. But even if that isn't possible, I've always tried to help him fulfill the mission he has taken upon himself, and to which he has proved fatally ill-suited, protecting Canabras against the demons. Unfortunately, he's convinced that the followers of Desna are heretics and saboteurs. He refused to listen to me, and it was only the knightly orders that deterred him from including us in his witch hunt. Now there's clearly no one left to stand in his way. He's finally free to get rid of us once and for all. Is there any chance to resolve this conflict? I don't know. Holrun's faith is truly formidable. Not only his faith in the Iomede, but in his own infallibility. In other words, he's as hard-headed as a rock troll. But even so, Desna teaches us never lose hope. Talk to him. Try to explain that we are fighting on the same side. If he attacks you, disarm him. Bind his hands, but I beg of you, if at all possible, please do not kill him. I have to go. Wait, 3 of my adepts are hiding somewhere in the ruins of the city. The ones Inquisitors wrongly accused of treason. I beg you, find them, and protect them against the demons and vigilantes like Holrun. They will not rest until they find them. If there's anything else you can do to save Canabras, please do it. Stranger, wait! You spared Ramian despite what the Mad Inquisitor told you. The young voice comes from nowhere. Oh, hang on. I forgot to remove the spell. I hope Holrun's dogs aren't lurking nearby. A pale young youth materializes before you. His face looks haggard from lack of sleep, but is clearly pleased to be speaking to someone. So you're one of Desna's adepts that tried to break into the Wardstone. Yes, I'm Ilks, a cleric of Desna, and one of the people who answered to the call of the voice in dreams. Some unknown person made contact with us through our dreams, telling us about the demon's plan. We learned that the demons were planning to attack Conabris and do something terrible to our Wardstone, which already carries the taint of corruption. Prelate Holrun refused to heed our warnings. We had to make a choice. We could either throw up our hands and pull back or take action, even though it could cost us our lives. But what heartless person would stand by in the face of such a deadly threat? What were you even planning to do to the Wardstone? Our plan was to get to it and then follow our instincts. There were 3 of us, a cleric, a mage, and a bard. Between us, we knew a lot. We were capable of the great deal. If we'd had enough time, I'm sure we could have figured out what's wrong with the Wardstone and how to heal it. But they didn't give us time. Yes, local commanders get roped into dealing with this. Some idiot kids trying to break into the Wardstone, apparently some of ours. But who even knows these days? I know there's no evil in you. I can sense things like that. But what you did was so stupid and impulsive. Someone could have got hurt. I know from experience. And how did you even come up with such a plan? Could we not come up with that plan? Listen, Desna's a goddess of luck, but luck as many lay people would understand it, and luck as we, the followers of music of the spheres, see it, are far from the same thing. Other people believe that luck is something good that falls into your lap just because, like a generous but unearned reward. We see luck as a fundamental law of creation, according to which even the darkest hour of the most hopeless situation, a chance of rescue and a change for the better can arise. But you've got to seize the chance when it presents itself, or better yet, create your own. Followers of Desna are not people who like idleness and inaction. That's why Conabris was in trouble. We did as our goddess had taught us. We took the matter into our own hands and tried in a moment of desperation to pluck our chance from the hands of fate itself. You were trying to help. Can they punish you if you were trying to help? Is that allowed? And how could a zealot like Holrun become a respected defender of Conabris anyway? His faith is strong, incredibly strong. The people of City have seen him fighting on the front lines time after time. I myself remember feeling dumbstruck the first time I saw that gruff old man slaying demons in a fit of righteous fury. The people living on the edge of the abyss need protection more than anything else, and that's why they prepared to forgive their protector almost anything, even prejudice, paranoia, and the death of innocence. Also, Holrun hasn't been as brutal as he used to be for a long time. He is his loyal right-hand man, Leoder, known as the Hawkblade. He's a witch hunter too, but a good deal more rational and even-tempered. Holrun trusts him completely, and Leoder always conducts a thorough investigation before dragging a victim to the fire. It's our bad luck that Leoder left Conabris in pursuit of some particularly vicious hags 2 weeks before the attack. If he were here, he wouldn't have let Holrun attack Ramian. On the other hand, if he were here, we wouldn't have escaped after trying to get to the Wardstone. We'd all be in the cell right now. And where are your fellow worshippers, and how many of them are there? Fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know where they are. We split up to confuse inquisitors who were chasing us. Right. Do you need it? Alright. I have to go. Wait, Desna teaches there's always a chance for a miracle, and maybe you are a chance. Help us track down my friends and protect them. Alright, I'm willing to help. Listen, my friends are called Aranka and Thal. Thal the Wallflower, and Aranka is an amazing singer and a truly beautiful girl. She has plenty of friends and fans. She's probably blended into a crowd somewhere. Wallflower's a mage, but I don't think he'll risk using magic. It'll only bring the Inquisitors down on him. He'll be harder to find. You'd better find Aranka first. She might know where Wallflower is. Please, you have to find them and protect them against the demons and inquisitors. I'll await the news in the goddess's temple. I hope our mysterious helper will send us a new message that will reveal what is to come from the demons. Alright. Go. May Desna be with you, stranger.
I'll go ahead.
Alright. So we have another bunch of quests, and we've managed to clear out a bit of this area.
As
Yep.
it should be.
Alright. Purifying solution. Helps, makes food safer. Oh.
Can we retreat already?
Some neophyte fighters. Alright.
Too late for apologies.
Yep. Alright. Alright. And this will probably be the last fight we can do, because I gotta start getting ready for work. Evoker, so...
Will leave a bruise.
Oof. Yeah, that's rough. Alright. Alright. Yeah, get as close. Alright. 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 Calrin. Yep.
Attack.
Wow. Alright. And that'll... A group of idiots. Let's try and get... Yeah, the Evoker. Nice. Sela, go ahead.
Inheritor, guide my blade.
There we go. Waljib.
Distract them from me.
Yep. Get that those sneak attacks.
You are today's sacrifice.
Nice. Give a scroll of moderate. Alright. So, like they said, we can use its Sela took a major hit. Scroll of moderate wounds. Alright. So I can equip it.
Focus on the goal.
So
Ready for anything.
then you go to usable items. Scroll of moderate wounds. And Sela.
Yes.
There we go. Puts her in a better position. Of course, we could also just go through the potions. Alright.
That's
Alright.
not far.
And the Evoker had some more, yep, injuring spells. And yeah, well, there's plenty more to explore, but we'll take care of that next time. So, I want to thank you all for joining me. I have been the Ephemeral One, and this has been more of
In due time.
Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. Hope you all are enjoying, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now, folks. Bye for now.